Have you ever read a book that completely changed the way that you see life? For me, that book was Think and Grow Rich. But let me be clear, because the title can seem quite deceiving. This isn't a book solely about money. It's a book about mental performance, about the power of the mind. It was the result of a 30-year study by Napoleon Hill. Yes, 30 years, where he analysed the most successful people on the planet with one goal: to understand what they have all shared in common. We're talking the likes of Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, Andrew Carnegie, who built the world's largest steel empire, JP Morgan, king of Wall Street at the time, Rockefellers, Soros, that's just to name a few. And what Hill discovered, they all followed the same 13 principles to achieve success in any area of life. It didn't matter what industry they were in or what their background was, these principles were universal across the board. And that's exactly what I'm breaking down today. So by the end of this episode, I'm going to walk you through the 3 most powerful, actionable lessons I've taken from Think and Grow Rich. And I promise you, they have the potential to change anyone's life, just like they did with mine. Now, when I first picked it up, I was already in what most people call a good chapter. I just read Manifest, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, as I've covered in previous episodes. So I was already deep in the next phase of my life, should we say. But I can hand on heart say that I attribute so much of my success over the last 6 months to this book. Now, if you're like most people, you'll never finish the whole thing. And I get it, it's relatively dense. It's quite old school language, early 1900s. And it's 13 chapters long. So what I've done today is pulled out the 3 most transformational principles that I've taken from the book. The ones that changed how I think, how I coach people, and genuinely influence my life every single day. My goal of this episode is to give you a modern insight with real world application and the exact mindset upgrades I use to give to my clients now. And I'll even share my definite mission purpose statement, which is my goals for the year ahead. So you can see how I've embedded this system into my own life word for word. Because this isn't just the book summary, as really it's the foundation of how some of the most high performers in history thought. So let's get into it. Lesson 1, desire. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Not a wish, not a hope, but a burning desire. So let's start with this. Desire isn't about aimlessly just wanting something, nor is it about writing out some goals in a SMART framework like most books will teach you at school. And I think that's where the misconceptions come in with manifesting, which is also why I hate the word, with the stigma it attracts. It's as if you close your eyes and success just drops out the sky. This is about wanting something so badly, you'll do absolutely anything to make it happen. So ultimately, it's not about what you want, it's about what you are willing to give up for it. Most people kind of want success, but very few are willing to sacrifice for it. They want the results, but they are not prepared to pay the price. Hill refers to desire as a burning obsession, something you can't go a day without thinking about. Not because it's easy, but because it feels like something you have to do, almost like it's your calling. For me, the shift was realizing that goals are a sacrificial obligation. If you truly desire something, you'll accept the pain that comes with it. But the crazy thing is, once that desire is real enough for you, those sacrifices won't even feel like sacrifice anymore. They feel like alignment. Talking from experience, it's very hard to articulate a burning desire. It's almost a feeling that waves over you, where nothing else seems to matter in that time of your life. This principle helped me strip away what society told me I, should want and reconnect with what I actually wanted. For a long time, I was purely financial driven, but this chapter stopped me and pulled me away from that, because once the income came, the fire never grew for me. It actually faded. Now my goal is about impact. It's about leadership. It's about leaving the world a better place. If I wasn't here tomorrow, then how would I want to be thought of? And the clearest thing I ever did was write it all down, which is how Napoleon Hill starts the book. He calls it a definite mission statement, a written declaration of what you want, what you are willing to give up for it, and when you are going to achieve it by. It's not just about journaling or vision boards. This is a framework with specific targets, timelines, and trade-offs. He says it must be quantifiable and tied to a monetary figure, even if money isn't the main goal. And you might ask why? Because that creates pressure and a level of clarity. And pressure creates action. But for now, I want to show you mine. And this is something that I've never read out before, but here goes nothing. So, I desire to generate a minimum of X in 2025 through multiple income streams. Excel coaching, the coach creator, cryptocurrency investments, and my property holding company. I desire this not purely for financial gain, but because I know this will become the story I one day tell. The proof that relentless discipline, patience, and clarity of vision will always win. But there's a deeper purpose to this chapter now. It's no longer about financial reward, but about impact, legacy, and buying back my time. Through my content, I'll create systems that transform lives. Built Different is not a podcast. It is not content. It is a movement. It is a living framework for mental performance. A place where I document the lessons I had to fight for, the systems that I had to build now coexist for others to use without making the same mistakes I did. I am willing to dedicate my time, energy, and sole focus to this vision. I am prepared to do the work that others won't for as long as it takes. I will continue to provide world-class coaching under Excel Coaching, market an industry-defining education platform under the Coach Creator, transform lives through Built Different, and remain patient and strategic in my cryptocurrency investments, and build long-term wealth through my UK property company. This desire will be fulfilled by the 31st of the 12th, 2025. I am unwavering in my commitment, and I know this vision will one day become my reality. I am so proud of you, Joe. 2024 was the year you changed your life forever. You developed the mindset capable of building all of this with the help of Try and ChatGPT, of course. No matter what life throws at you, this is the story that you will one day tell. This is the work worth sacrificing everything for. This is the life you were always meant to create. This is the person you were always destined to be. This is only the beginning. We will finish what you started, but be prepared. Your life is about to change very soon. Greatness awaits you. Every time you read this, you'll be one step closer. P.S. Remember to enjoy the journey. Don't rush it, mate. Stay grateful. Stay present. So, there we have it. Emotional. And I have honestly read that every day since January the 1st. And it still gives me goosebumps now. But that's what desire is to me now. It's not just an aimless goal. It's that statement. And I read it every single morning before I start work without fail. Because desire, it's not just what you want. It's what you are willing to give up. It's who you are willing to become in the process. And once you get clear on it, discipline stops being a struggle. It just becomes who you are. Lesson 2, faith. Faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. So let's break this down. Faith, as Hill defines it, is the ability to believe in an outcome before there's any physical evidence, only your thoughts. And this isn't just a spiritual idea, it's backed by neuroscience. We now know the brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined scenario and something that's actually happening in real time. That means every time you rehearse a belief with emotion, you're reinforcing it as a truth, whether it's real or not. That's how new neural pathways are built, and that's exactly how autosuggestion works. You've probably heard the term affirmations, and most people think, manifesting, it's cringe, it's nonsense, shout positive comments in the mirror, whatever. But real affirmations are intentional statements spoken with repetition and elevated emotion, and how you rewire your brain. And before you roll your eyes and think, whatever, just think about this logically. Science has proved our brain is what we call neuroplastic. Science has also now proved what we think creates connections in our brain. Those connections equal learning, and those connections create our thoughts. Our thoughts drive our emotions dictate our behavior. So if you fill your thoughts with positivity and nothing but that, you'll be happier emotionally. And then your behavior will align. It's not magic, it's pure logic. And let's face it, you're already being programmed by society, by social media, by your friends, your work colleagues, whatever it is. So the real question is, why not program it with what you actually want to believe? And that is the hack. This principle completely changed how I think, because I realized self-belief isn't something that you're born with. It's something you have to choose to build intentionally. And if you don't, you'll default to doubt, because doubt is the natural survival instinct and state. So faith is the single thing that bridges that gap between your thoughts and your future. Without it, you will never fully access your potential. Like, it's impossible. But when you have it, you move with a level of confidence. You stop stressing that you don't have it all figured out. You just start focusing on that next step. And that's all that matters. And eventually, you get to the point where the result just almost feels inevitable. And that's what Built Different is really based upon. Helping you build that unshakable level of self-belief through 3 key pillars I believe is essential. Discipline, because it's the greatest form of self-respect. Doing things today that your future self will thank you for tomorrow, especially when no one is watching. And then we have productivity, because we as humans are designed to be productive. And when you are productive daily, you start backing yourself. And then finally, we have emotional control, because if your emotions are dictated by people or by your environment, you won't believe in yourself. And that's just the reality. So to close this section off, I want to end with a quote. You'll never outperform the belief you have about yourself. And that line right there, that's not just a quote. That's the test that you are taking every single day in life. Lesson 3, persistence. There is no substitute for persistence. Let's call this what it is. Talent is overrated. Consistency is everything. Hill dedicates this entire chapter to this one truth. Most people don't fail because they're not good enough. They fail because they give up the moment any single challenge shows up. And it's not because they lack potential, it's because they lack courage. Persistence is never about feeling doubt. We're human. Doubt is entirely natural. But persistent people, they keep going regardless. And that's what separates the ones who want it from the ones who become it. And I get it. It sounds very simple. But really think about it. The only thing that separates belief and achievement is action. That's it. Persistence is just the compounding effect of small, uncomfortable steps repeated every single day, done over a long period of time, even if motivation disappears. It's not sexy, it's not glamorous, there's often no signs of success to be seen, and it often leads to you questioning yourself more times than you can imagine. But on the inside, it's the only thing that builds true freedom. It's liberating, because when you don't need motivation to keep going, there truly is very little that you can't do in life. From what I've seen working with many high performers now, most people aren't stuck because they lack skill, they're stuck because they lack courage. They wait for guarantees, they wait for permission, they're waiting for the perfect moment or whatever they want to call it. But the truth is, every big decision in life has to be made with incomplete data. That's just reality. As the path to personal growth, it's not about knowing everything. It's about getting comfortable with taking your best guess based on the information that you have to hand. And this is why I always say, don't ever aim to be perfect, because perfect doesn't exist. Aim to be directionally correct. You learn by doing. And ironically, the answers that you're waiting for only reveal themselves after you've started, after you've taken action. That's why I'll always say, I don't believe in perfectionism. It is not a strength. It's just procrastination in disguise. Now, let me speak to this personally. Persistent, it's the one trait I believe defines success in any area of life. And that probably comes from my bodybuilding side. It's the ability to keep showing up without needing external approval, no likes, no views, no well dones, no pats on the back, whatever it may be. Just a quiet level of conviction that what you are doing now will be the story that you one day tell. That's what I remind myself of every time it gets hard. Just stick with it. Because the truth is, sometimes it takes a while for the world's vision to catch up with your own. And that's why most people quit too soon. The world loves an overnight success story. And yes, sometimes they do happen. But what you don't see are the years of work when no one is watching. The years of compounding the individual skills that give someone the ability to become a quote-unquote overnight success. Because what really makes one is the compounding effort over time. But one final thing to remember is anything worth having will test you, it will challenge you, and it will definitely stretch you. But if it didn't, it probably wouldn't be worth it. Short-term dopamine will always cost you long-term peace. But persistence, that's what buys freedom. So that wraps up the 3 key lessons from Think and Grow Rich. And that's my honest take. And this book is honestly one of the most powerful books ever written. And I can't do it justice in 3 single lessons alone. But the reason most people still don't see results from it is because they skip these principles altogether. Hence why I started with them first. Desire, faith, and persistence. Remember, desire is the ignition. It sparks the vision. Faith is the belief system. It makes the vision feel real before the results show. Persistence is the execution. It's the discipline to keep going after motivation fades. And this creates the loop of thought, belief, and behavior. And this is literally the neurological and strategic sequence of success. And if you're someone who's putting in the work, but that internal belief just still isn't there, I built something for you called the Self Mastery Kit. It's completely free, and inside you'll find the exact tools that I use myself and the same systems I give to my private clients to upgrade their mental performance from the ground up. It includes a Google Calendar tutorial designed for high performance and how to break it down and color coordinate, self-development practices including gratitude, journaling, meditation, and motivation, supplement and nutrition protocols to support brain clarity and health, an AI-powered journal that helps you rewire your self-talk, and so much more. To get a copy, just simply head to the Built Different Instagram and type the word belief. I'll send it straight over to you completely for free. I've dropped my Instagram in the description below. Just drop me a DM. And while you're there, just give this video a like and let me know in the comments if you're enjoying these book run-throughs. But I want to leave you with one single thing, because these 3 principles aren't just theory. They are the test life gives you every single day. Desire asks, do you want it badly enough to pay the price? Faith will ask, do you believe in it before the world believes in you? And persistent asks, will you keep going when nothing seems to be working on the surface? And the truth is, you don't need perfect conditions to start. You just need the courage to take that first step. Because what have you really got to lose? Life is unpredictable. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to take control of your mind and start building the future that you actually want? This book is living proof of what is possible if you decide to become the kind of person who never stops. The greatest regret in life is never failure. It's never becoming who you were meant to be because fear kept you stuck. You hold the power, choose it wisely, and remember, if you rewire your mind, you redefine your future, because you are built different.